Hello everyone, back to you in today's video. The cold weather that's possibly coming up at the end of the week and into the weekend, really causing some problems with the computer models at the moment. They're all struggling. There's a lot of scatter going on amongst the models, really wild swings taking place from run to run. And this is often what you see in this country when it comes to cold weather in the winter, because it's a pattern that really goes against the normal. The normal pattern is for west to east Atlantic, a sort of zonal type pattern. So when you get blocking areas of high pressure developing to the north, Greenland, Scandinavia, the models struggle with that. It's not a typical pattern, and they have a job really to model exactly what those blocking areas of high pressure are going to do, and so you tend to get lots of swings from run to run and from model to model. And that's exactly what we're seeing at the moment. And I'll have a look at those charts in a moment to just see what they're showing this morning. But before I go on video, I just want to talk about the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad overlaying my web videos at gavswebvids.com. Please play those video ads because you'll be supporting gavswebvids.com by doing that. Also want to mention Gav Shop. Thanks for embracing Gav Shop. I know you've been looking at the page, so thanks very much for that. And keep browsing through the items and keep clicking through to Amazon to order your Christmas shopping, because again you'll be supporting Gavs Weather Vids by doing that. So starting off just quickly with the North Atlantic oscillation and Arctic oscillation observed and forecast chart, the black line here indicating where the North Atlantic oscillation has been. We've been very negative through much of the autumn actually, but in the last few weeks the NAO has gone positive, indicating that we've had a zonal sort of westerly type pattern. But now we see that the NAO in this red area here, this is the forecast area, is actually forecast to dip very much negative as we go towards the start of December, really crashing the North Atlantic oscillation there. Remember, this is an index really of what the atmosphere is doing. It's not driving the atmosphere, this is just reflecting what the atmosphere is doing. So when the North Atlantic oscillation goes very negative, as this is showing, it's telling us that we've got high pressure building in northern latitudes around Iceland, and we're shifting the Azores high away from the Azores and probably getting some sort of area of low pressure going on down there. So yes, the North Atlantic oscillation will be crashing over the next few days, but then beyond this, as we go through the first week or so of December, we get a lot of scatter taking place here, and this is really indicative of the way the models are struggling. Once that northern blocking gets into place, once the North Atlantic oscillation goes negative, then the models are really struggling to decide what to do next, and some of them are taking the North Atlantic back to positive, so they're resetting the pattern to a mild westerly type pattern, whereas a lot of them actually are keeping the North Atlantic oscillation quite negative. And it's the same sort of idea for the Arctic oscillation as well. The Arctic oscillation, again, this indicates the atmosphere over the North Pole when the Arctic oscillation is positive, as it has been through much of November. Then we've got low pressure over the Arctic. But when the Arctic oscillation is negative, then we've got blocking over the Arctic. We can see that again on the forecast area of the chart, which is the red lines here. The Arctic oscillation, just like the North Atlantic oscillation, is forecast to crash through the next few days. So by the time we get through to the start of December, we've got a very, very negative Arctic oscillation there. And then beyond that, there's signs that it upticks a little bit, but we get a lot of scatter as we go through the first week or two of December, again indicative of the models not really knowing where to place that blocking once they've got it formed. And we can see that more or less we are staying on the negative side with this. Even this one member that takes it up right up towards neutral, that only goes to neutral. None of the members of the ensemble really going back up to positive. So you will think, putting the Arctic oscillation and the North Atlantic oscillation forecast together, that we're probably keeping a lot of blocking going over the Arctic through the first week or so of December. So if we have a look at the generic charts from models, we can see what the problem is really this morning, and it's this area of high pressure that's this area of low pressure, I should say, that's to the south of Greenland. Very deep area of low pressure there, exiting from Canada. This is for Friday the 30th, so we've got the high pressure in the Atlantic and we're bringing down this cold northerly wind. There's the blocking up over Scandinavia that's pulling out cold air out of Russia, but it's this low pressure to the south of Greenland that's causing all the problems. If this stalls and sends a warm air evacuation up into Greenland, then we will promote a proper cold setup and lock a proper cold setup into place. But if this runs through, it'll really break the blocking down, at least temporarily, and return us to a westerly mild type pattern. So going through into Saturday the 1st of December, that's that area of low pressure there. It is sending warm air advection up in towards Greenland on this GFS chart for Saturday. And we've got this ridge still in the Atlantic going up towards the north. So Saturday's still cold on this chart. We are bringing down a cold flow of air across the country. But as we go through to Sunday, suddenly everything starts to flatten off, and that's because the low pressure hasn't stalled over Greenland and to the south of Greenland. It's actually been pushed through on the jet stream, so it's breaking apart that ridge in the Atlantic, and it's setting us back into a westerly pattern. Now, this is still quite chilly for northern and eastern parts of the country for Sunday, but milder air is trying to establish. By the time we get through to Monday the 3rd, which is a week away, we're back into a proper westerly flow here. The blocking has been flattened off. We're bringing in this much milder westerly flow, keeping the cold air really trapped in to the east of the country, and then this sets us up into quite a mild pattern. But is that right? Well, let's see what the other models have got to say. This is the European model, the ECMWF. We can see that for Friday the 30th of November, we are in this cold northerly wind across the country, bring down the cold air. That's the low pressure exiting from Canada. So what does the ECM do with that? Well, it takes it up towards Greenland on Saturday the 1st of December. We're still in this cold northerly flow for Saturday the 1st of December, and the cold flow, it continues as we go into Sunday. So unlike the ECMWF, which flattens the ridge, flattens the blocking off and establishes or starts to establish a westerly flow on Sunday, the ECM says that we stay in this northerly wind. Actually, this low pressure in the North Sea could be feeding snow showers down the eastern side, and that low pressure again showing signs of stalling to the south of Greenland, sending the warm air advection up in towards Greenland. Now, as we go through to Monday the 3rd of December, so this is a week away again, then we start to see signs that the ridge begins to collapse, and we start to try and push this westerly flow through on this area of low pressure. But this is much less strong really than on the GFS, this signal, and it wouldn't take much at all really for this actually to keep the blocking going, or to bring this low pressure through and take it to the south and west of the country, maintaining the cold air really across the country. That could actually turn into a snow event. That's not far away from giving us a snow event, the ECM this morning for the start of next week. The Canadian model, the GEM, well, that's got us in this northerly flow for Monday, for Friday the 30th. It's definitely going to get colder for at least a day or two, I think, at the end of the week into the start of the weekend. So this is for Saturday the 1st. Again, we're in this cold north to northeasterly flow, probably bringing in snow showers to the east side of the country. That's below pressure over Canada, stalling to the south of, coming out of Canada, stalling to the south of Greenland. Going through to Sunday the 2nd of December, we're still in this cold run. We've got the low pressure in the North Sea, possibly bringing some snow showers in. Showing signs of flattening again in the Atlantic, flattening the ridge off, trying to bring this low pressure through. And as we go through to Monday the 3rd of December, that low pressure is trying to come in, but it's still not really coming in with much authority. It's probably sliding away to the south and the southwest if this was to happen, which would maintain it cold, particularly in the north and the east. But this is a very difficult, very complicated pattern that the models are dealing with. And the UK Met Office charts, finally, this is for Friday the 30th again, in this cold northerly flow. It will be getting colder at the end of the week and into the start of the weekend. Saturday the 1st of December, a really nice north to northeasterly blast going on there, a strong north to northeasterly blast, really much stronger originally in the Atlantic. If you want to keep it cold for an extended period, the UK Met Office this morning is definitely the best model for that, because we've got a much stronger ridge in the Atlantic going up towards Iceland for Saturday the 1st of December. And by the time we get through to Sunday the 2nd of December, well, we have broken that ridge up, but we've got very nice blocking still going on to the north of the country. And these areas of low pressure in the Atlantic really looking much less intense than on all the other models. If these come in, they're probably going to slide away to the south and the southwest. And this definitely is maintaining the cold weather for quite an extended period, I think, UK Met Office model this morning. So it's a very complicated situation. What we can definitely say, I think, is that it's going to get colder. It will be getting colder. A cold couple of days for Friday, Saturday. I would expect it to last until Sunday. I think the GFS is being very progressive in breaking down this ridge. I would expect the GFS to come into line with the other models and maintain the cold weather for Sunday. The complications really start for the start of next week. So we're going to have a cold weekend. Well, I think we can say that with quite good agreement. The complications come for the start of next week as the ridge flattens off and low pressure tries to push in from the Atlantic. But how that low pressure gets in, does it get in? Does it stall? Does it slide away? Very much open to question. I can't call it at the moment. It's possible that we'll just see a push through of milder air on Monday, or that low pressure could, believe it or not, give us quite a substantial snow event, or maybe it won't even get in at all and we'll just maintain it cold and largely dry. But in any case, we are looking at a cold weekend. Cold for Friday, Saturday, probably almost definitely, I think, lasting into Sunday. Could be some snow in the north and the east of the country over the weekend, probably in the form of snow showers, not really amounting to too much, but probably a very seasonable sort of feeling weekend. And then we've got to keep an eye on what's happening for the start of next week. But it's a very complicated pattern. I'll be keeping you updated with it over the next few days, so keep checking back. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.